6:48, time for the morning rush. Jury selection in Alec Baldwin's trial for the deadly shooting on the movie set of Rust is scheduled to begin today. In a motion hearing yesterday, Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer ruled that the state cannot mention Alec Baldwin's role as a producer. Baldwin is on trial for involuntary manslaughter after he was holding the gun with a live round that fired and killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins back in 2021.
There's a warrant out for a woman accused of helping a suspect in a police shooting. In April, Joey White pointed a gun at officers during a foot chase near Central in Louisiana. Police say White called Ana Hernandez Gonzalez from jail, telling her to look for the gun he used. The homeowner said no and called police, who confiscated the gun the next day.
An operation focused on cracking down on crime at bus stops along the Central Corridor that is underway this morning. Last week, APD had 30 officers working that operation focused on the stretch between San Pedro and Wyoming. They made more than 70 arrests for felony crimes. Ryan.
And temperatures will be on the rise today, as we'll see some afternoon clouds, but likely rain-free conditions in the metro for most of the day. But thunderstorms will be a possibility in the nearby mountains. Flash flood watches are in effect for many in the Central Mountain chain.
The state is amending its lawsuit with the federal government, seeking financial compensation related to the cleanup of PFAS contaminations from military bases. The state is arguing the Defense Department is responsible for the firefighting foam that seeped into groundwater near Cannon and Holloman Air Force bases.
2 years after the largest wildfire in recorded New Mexico history, a new report says that the Forest Service still has gaps in its prescribed burn protocol. The Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire ignited in 2022 as a prescribed burn that got out of control. Federal investigation has found that the Forest Service has not adopted all of the reforms promised and is following a review of its burn program.
Those seeking federal aid following the South Fork and Salt fires near Ruidoso will soon be contacted by FEMA about their eligibility. FEMA says the letters will break down your application status as well as how much assistance you could receive. Property owners can appeal FEMA's decision within 60 days from the date of the letter. Ryan.
And we have a lot of instability in the atmosphere, meaning a lot of warmth, a lot of moisture that will produce some thunderstorms, not only today, but really for the next few days. Very localized today, but becoming more widespread later this week, and that may even include the metro.
Well, APD, along with the Bernalillo County DA and the state's U.S. Attorney, they're going to be hosting a Fill the Bus donation drive through the 19th. You can drop off school supplies at APD's headquarters. That is Monday through Friday from 8:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. Locker 505 will then distribute the supplies to students at Hyder Park on July 27th.
The Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad will soon be extending its service. Starting tomorrow, visitors can take the Highline Express through Durango and Silverton on both Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. Tickets for the Highline Express are limited, with only 12 evening excursions remaining.
We're getting a look right now at the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl along the Gulf Coast. Drone footage shows homes surrounded by floodwater in Surfside Beach, Texas. At least 3 people were killed, and the hurricane has now knocked out power to 1.5 million homes and businesses. The National Hurricane Center says that Beryl has now weakened into a tropical depression and will weaken even further later on today. Ryan.
And taking a look at traffic right now, no major accidents or slowdowns, green arrows meaning pretty good flow of traffic. And taking a live look at our roof cam, a beautiful morning, and we'll keep you up to date on the weather, news, local traffic throughout the rest of today.
A woman from Arizona is competing in a pageant all about raising awareness for women with disabilities. Sharon Malone is Miss Wheelchair Arizona. She's learned a lot taking multiple self-defense courses through the years. That's what led her to her platform of safety education. In August, Sharon will be heading to Michigan to try to become Miss Wheelchair America.
Now, time for the 5 facts.
And number 5, due to popular demand, the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad will soon be extending its services. Starting tomorrow, visitors can take the train on both Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. The Highline Express takes people on a scenic round trip through Durango and Silverton. Part of that route includes a section of track about 400 feet above the Animas River. It ends July 31st.
At number 4, an operation focused on cracking down on crime at bus stops along the Central Corridor is underway this morning. Albuquerque bus riders often face drug deals, drug use, and other crimes happening out in the open. It's along Central Avenue. Well, last week, APD had 30 officers working the operation focused on the stretch between San Pedro and Wyoming. They made more than 70 arrests for felony crimes.
And at number 3, a hotter day in the afternoon despite a cooler start. But we're going to still see that moisture in the atmosphere, temperatures reaching the low to mid 90s this afternoon in the metro. More widespread 80s and 90s today, but at the cost to, again, that moisture producing thunderstorms, the stormier weather pattern likely ahead.
And number 2, the state is now seeking financial compensation from the feds. That is following cleanup of PFAS contamination from military bases. The state is arguing that the Defense Department is responsible for the firefighting foam that seeped into the groundwater near Cannon and Holloman Air Force bases. Well, the recently amended lawsuit is using a rule allowing the state to recover the cost of cleanup and monetary damages for natural resources. The amended lawsuit also goes after Kirtland Air Force Base, White Sands Missile Range, and Fort Wingate.
And number 1, jury selection in the Alec Baldwin trial is set to begin today. Baldwin is on trial for involuntary manslaughter after he was holding the gun with a live round that fired and killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins back in 2021. In a motion hearing yesterday, Judge Mary Marlowe Summer ruled the state cannot mention Alec Baldwin as a producer and not just an actor on the film production Rust. The judge also is not allowing evidence regarding Baldwin's behavior on set and testimony blaming Assistant Director David Halls for the shooting.